I have a question about like the inception of all this. Like you obviously seem super fucking sharp, and you are clearly, right? When you started like making your team, and even specifically, I remember you were talking to Joe about having a group of friends that you would just talk to all the time to like figure out the YouTube and how things worked and what worked,
Yep.
you know, what didn't work. How did you determine who were the right people for you to work with?
Yeah. Well, back then,
Because you're also so fucking young.
Yeah, well, it wasn't really intentional. It was like I was just kind of a social outcast because no one, I mean, it's bumfuck nowhere in North Carolina. No one wanted to be a YouTuber. No one even really knew what social media was back then. This is before it was all cool. So like everyone would just say, oh, all you do is talk about YouTube, get a fucking life, talk about something else. So I just didn't really talk to many people. And then I just randomly met these other YouTubers online and they were equally as obsessed. And we just kind of talked. And next thing you know, we talked every day for 100 days, 500 days in a row, and you blink and it's been 1,000 days and we've talked every single day. And so I just met these 4 other hyper obsessed, just idiots like me that all we did was obsess over YouTube and making content. And we all had around 10,000 subscribers. And then a year later, we all had 1 million. And we just literally just
what made you different?
Together.
Why do you think you blew up so much?
Yeah,
further?
what was your first video that went crazy?
Yeah, well, there's a couple stages, right? Because your first video to get 100,000 views, your first to get 1 million, your first to get 10. My first really, really, really big one was when I counted to 100,000 because a lot of people like
I remember seeing those ones.
Yes.
What year was this?
And the time codes were just like so long that it was like, did people just click just to see if you actually did it? And
exactly. Well, and the thing was that one blew up because like everyone was just reacting to it and be like, what a fucking idiot. Get a life, which was great. It was cool. Like, this is when FaZe Clan was huge and they all like reacted to it in their vlogs and tons of people were talking about it. It was probably like 5 years ago. But the reason I did that is I was watching a show called Naruto and it's like 700 episodes, but I couldn't justify the time to watch it. So I really wanted to watch this show, but I was like, it's too much time. So I just put it on pause. And then I started thinking, you know, how can I make money while I watch this? And so I just sat there for an hour and I was like, what can I do to make money while I watch this anime for fucking 60 hours? And then I practiced counting and I realized I could count while still enjoying the show. And so the entire time I counted to 100,000, I was just watching anime. So I basically made money while watching anime.
How many views did that get?
That got like 20 million. Yeah, which is huge for us back then.
Is that when like the YouTube partner program was around? Was that when you started?
Yeah, well, I was already making decent money. That was like a year after I moved out. Which I've told this story before. I always wanted to make enough money to do YouTube full time by the time I got out of high school, and I wasn't. So then my mom made me go to a community college, and it was miserable. It was literally the worst time of my life. I hated it with a passion. So then I just stopped going to community college, and I would go to my friend's house and just work on videos. But I basically had like 6 months until my mom found out that I wasn't going and she was going to kick me out. So that's when I went really hard. And I did that video and a bunch of other videos. And I had a month where I made 20 grand. And then I told my mom, I was like, hey, I'm moving out. Also, I have straight zeros. And she like almost had a fucking heart attack because she didn't understand it. She just wanted what was best for me. And then I moved out. And
what day was that? Or like what year?
Sounds like 2017, 2018.
Yeah, 2016, I believe.